Hi, I'm Anastasia Wright, owner of IMG Agency and Records, and executive director of Minds Behind the Music. I'm sitting here with Makadrez. Anastasia Wright, the entrepreneur, artist manager, nonprofit owner, business owner. I wear a lot of hats. The publicist, um, a lot of hats. I place high value on honesty, integrity, um, being genuine, open. Um, I think those are characteristics that, again, carry through personally and professionally. And I like to think that the standards that I hold myself to the people that I work with and have friendships with will also treat me in the same regard. IMG Agency originally was a public relations agency. I started the company with my former partner, Karsten Venna, while at Baruch College. So that is 2008. It's been in formation. And since then, a lot has happened. The company has grown. I have grown. Karsten is no longer part of the company. We're still very close. But only 2 years ago is when I decided to take the step to manage IMG full time. Before that, it was a balance of working in the industry at various labels and other PR firms while also managing campaigns and working with respective clients on IMG side. But it came time. Um, People ask when you know. I feel like you just know when it's time to take that step. And took the step. Left RCA Records. Started working with an IMG agency full time. And it'll be 3 years in June 2017. And what we do, I think what we do isn't rocket science. It's how we do it. Creating profit-driven marketing strategies for artists as well as entrepreneurs, but we work primarily with musicians and those in the creative and artistic space. And we come in usually around an album cycle or a major happening with the talent or company when they're launching, maybe a tour, album again, and we help put together the strategy around. It can be just PR, it can be marketing, distribution, event planning, etc. And recently, what's been really exciting, we launched a label division, IMG Records, and the first artist coming out on that is Tangerine Stone, who I've managed for 2 years. So there's a deeper relationship there. It's not like a random signing, and it's exciting. So I'm super humbled by everybody's response and excited for where the company is going next year and beyond. Minds Behind the Music is a nonprofit that is under IMG Agency, and it's 3 years old officially. It started as a one-off event that myself and my former partner wanted to put together as a way to give back and also market ourselves. And it turned into something we did yearly, and then we took a hiatus. And people were asking about it and brought it back. And then, out of the response from the event that we did in 2013, we decided this needs to actually be an institution. And essentially, it didn't exist. There's no resource, really, one resource that you can go to find information about careers in entertainment and media. And that's purely what Minds Behind the Music is, a resource for emerging professionals looking to get into entertainment and media, as well as existing, who may want to change, who may want to move into another area, as well as other professionals outside of entertainment and media. You could already be a manager, you could already be an executive somewhere else, but you have an interest in now transitioning into the entertainment and or media industry. And we produce free panels, executive discussions, workshops, and I stress free because the mission statement is very much focused on information being free, and being a resource should be free. And that comes from my time in college. I wish that there was something like this that existed, because not that you shouldn't shake and move and learn how to make your dreams happen, but there should be something available for those to at least go get the information. You still have to take yourself there, network, and do all the work, but there wasn't anywhere for me to go. I kind of had to really, really dig and find out who does this and that. And I felt it shouldn't be like that. And also, I shouldn't have to pay $300 to go to a Billboard conference. I'm in college. I have no money. So, and in general, these things are expensive, and they're also not local, which is weird because the music industry, and more so entertainment media, film in general, exists on the coasts, LA and New York. So Billboard and Ad Age and all these other entities having conferences in weird places, I don't have the money to travel. So with all that in my head, I wanted to create something for people that's free, informational, and helpful, and also create a network of people that think alike and have the same goals in mind, and create relationships there as well. And that's what we've been doing. It's been 3 years, and it's great. Being my own boss is fun. It is hard. It is challenging and sometimes very frustrating. But I do love all those things. Why? Because I like not having a ceiling. My qualm is not with corporate America. Working for somebody is not evil, because not everybody has the wherewithal to manage themselves. Entrepreneurship is about accountability and responsibility. And if that's not something you want to own, entrepreneurship is not for you. So you need to actually thrive in an environment and work for a company that's going to manage you, essentially, and help you manage and recognize your talents and your pursuits. I'm not one of those people. I like building myself at a pace that I'm comfortable with. If I want to go out and start something, I'm going to go do it. And I don't want the boundary of having to go through somebody else for permission. Call it rebellion, call it being revolutionary, whatever. I just have goals, and I have a vision for myself and who I want to be, and I like the freedom of being able to create that and also help others create that for themselves. That's really what brings me the most joy. The biggest challenges I've had to overcome is self-inflicted. I feel all entrepreneurs, though we may project confidence and that we're okay, every day we're insecure. We're very insecure. I don't think there's any entrepreneur or business owner that is not. We're highly insecure because it's never good enough. It's never good enough. It never will be good enough. And to exist in that space constantly is maddening. And it's self-inflicted. And you have to learn to manage your thoughts. You have to learn to stay in a positive headspace. And that is the most difficult thing to do day to day. It's not funding. It's not figuring shit out. You're an entrepreneur. That's what you're supposed to do. Supposed to solve problems and find solutions That's the fun part. The hard part is the times where things are not going as you expected and you don't want to wake up, but you have to because people paid you to do something, and but you're not in the creative space, but you have to push yourself through and work through depression, work through self-doubt, work through fear, all those horrible things. But you get better at it, and you learn how to manage it better. It doesn't go away. The more you accomplish, the further you get in your passion, your purpose, I feel the more insecure you become. That may be something for me. But with greater responsibility, the pressure mounts more and more. My biggest milestone. This is funny because I sat on a panel a couple weeks ago at Harlem Children's Zone, and it was an amazing panel of professionals of color in media. And one of the kids asked, when was your I made it moment? And I think across the board, we were all like, we're still trying to make it. What you talking about? Like, seriously, there really isn't. I feel like you have moments that you feel proud of yourself. And then literally 2 seconds later, you're like, all right, now what? So, milestone for me hasn't happened yet, to be honest. I'm, again, super grateful to wake up every day and go into a space and work for myself. That is yes, a milestone in itself. 2 years in, approaching 3 years, working for myself. That is amazing. But I don't feel like I've accomplished what I want to do. I think that milestone will come with Tangina Stone, the first release coming on IMG Records. Seeing that roll out successfully hit is what I'm working on right now. And I'm stressed about it daily, constantly. And when it's successful, I feel that will be a major milestone. Because working in music specifically, it's about, for me, breaking artists. I got into the business to be a part of somebody's career. Didn't get in it to be a part of somebody else who's already broken. That's cool. It's cool to work with major artists. Great. But I didn't have a hand in making them great. That's really what drove me in music is finding the artist that I can claim for myself. It sounds selfish, but that's what made all the greats great. All the people we look up to in the industry made a name for themselves first. Master P, Diddy, Hove, L.A. Reid, they were a part of creating their own companies that made enough noise that the major players started coming to them. And I think sometimes we forget about that. So I am now in that space where I'm able to now focus on creating that noise for myself through an artist that I wholly 100% believe in. And that's exciting. So the milestone I feel will come. It's coming. For me, it hasn't hit yet, but it's coming, and it's coming really soon. I have grown as a person as well as a businesswoman in ways that's hard to put into words. Going back to responsibility and accountability, I take what I do very seriously, not for granted. It can literally be pulled from under me. I'm aware of that. Everybody should be aware of that. Nobody's untouchable. And having to manage a company and a person who has put her career literally in my hands and doing so in a way that she 100% trusts me. That's not something to take lightly. And it forces me to work through things that may have normally stopped me if I was working for another company, because it's mine. My name is on it. If I mess up, it's me. If I'm successful, it's me too. But those thoughts of failure are with me all the time. And that has definitely helped me grow as a person. One, owning up to mistakes. You will fail, and that's okay. And you have to be okay with that enough to say to your client that, you know what, this rollout is not what we expected, but let me here offer you another way that we can work on this. And stepping into conversations and stepping into spaces with people that in the back of my head, I'm freaking out. Like, how the hell did I get here? Am I good enough? Am I good enough? Yes. However, it's hard to sometimes have those conversations with yourself and do it, but you got to do it. So every day is a challenge. Every day I feel a little stronger, a little more sure, and that's great. It's great. I don't think I'm the same person I was even last year. Getting to a point where, not that you don't give up, but you're fearless because you're comfortable with failure. I'm very comfortable with failing. I fail daily. Things never really pan out the way you want them to. So being comfortable in that allows you the freedom to create more and to do more things that may sound crazy to other people and take risks. And that's necessary to keep thriving in the entrepreneurial landscape. You have to always think ahead, be crazy, do crazy things that it might work. And I definitely think that's a major key. That's been a major lesson and growth point for me. Something I wish somebody would have told me when I first decided to get into the music business and work with artists and develop artists is, I'm going to dig deep for a second, that you are enough. And why that's important is because the music industry in general is a black hole. It will swallow you up. You will be around people and things that will make you feel insecure and magical all in the same moment. And knowing that you are enough and you're capable is important because you won't fall for the magic tricks. And you won't be deterred by the no's. You won't be deterred by the coldness. It's a very difficult industry. What people see daily are finished products. You see final products. You see magazine covers. You hear a song on the radio. You go to a concert. These are finished products. A lot goes into developing and creating what consumers buy into as it relates to music and artists. And the people that work in the business and essentially own the business are not always the friendliest people. Being an African American woman in entertainment business is interesting. And again, you are enough is important because in general, people of color have been taught that we are not enough. Something is wrong with us. We're not good enough. We're not smart enough. We don't deserve to be here. And that goes without saying in the music business too. A big issue with not just the music industry's representation. We've always been the talent. The modern day music industry as we know it has been built on Black music and Black experience. And that's not represented on the ownership side. So, not that I was shocked, but it was like, oh damn, we in a Yo Gotti meeting, and ain't nobody in here look like Yo Gotti. So, seeing that is interesting, and being able to hold your own and know that you are enough. Don't let these people make you think that you don't know what you're talking about because you're an intern. Matter of fact, you probably know way more than that product manager because you're the demo that they're trying to talk to. So, yes, be respectful and understand that you're learning, but also respect yourself enough and have enough faith and confidence in yourself to speak up. Don't do something that will compromise yourself. You will be asked. Again, not just being an African American woman, being a woman in general. That executive may hit on you. You go to a party. Substances are going to be put in front of you. Artists may hit on you. Producers may get at you. You have to know who you are and that you're enough. You don't have to do anything extra to get ahead. Not knocking those who do, but it's not necessary. You have to have a firm understanding of who you are. And that's something, it's catch-22 because as you grow and you work, you figure that out too. But I do feel you've got to come in already with a strong sense of self. Know who you are. Know you're enough. Know why you're here because it can swallow you whole. And you will be put in situations where you're going to have to make decisions really quick. And already having that sense of self will help you shake and move and gain respect. You don't want to be known as somebody that got ahead in business in general, in the music business, because you were dating somebody or you did something that put you in a position of power. You want to be known for your work. You want to be known for your honesty. You want to be known as somebody that people can trust and depend on. Those are the things you want to be known for. So that's something that, not that people didn't tell me, I had some really good, and have still some really good people around me, older people, OGs, that I'm able to lean on. But it was hard to find those people. My family's awesome. They were a little confused about where I was going with it, but they never did. They never got on me about doing it. They always encouraged me, so that's a blessing. So I did have that support system, but yeah, going in already having an idea of what A is not going to do, but what A will do was certainly important in getting to the point where I am.